Esau, also known as Edom, meaning red, was the oldest son of Isaac and Rebekah, and the twin brother of Jacob, whose name means supplanter, or he who grabs the heel, reflecting his character as being cunning and ambitious. Genesis chapter 25 verse 21-28. The story of Esau revolves around his impulsive and short-sighted decisions, which ultimately led to him losing his birthright and blessings. Esau was described as a skilled hunter and outdoorsman, while Jacob was more of a quiet and domestic person. One day, when Esau returned from hunting hungry, he found Jacob cooking a lentil stew. Genesis chapter 25 verse 29-34. Esau asked for some of the stew, but Jacob saw an opportunity and proposed a trade. He offered Esau a bowl of stew in exchange for his birthright, which was the right to inherit a double portion of their father's wealth and be recognized as the head of the family. Esau, driven by his immediate hunger, foolishly agreed to Jacob's offer and traded his birthright for a bowl of stew. Later on, as their father Isaac grew old and his eyesight began to fail, he called Esau and asked him to prepare a meal of his favorite game so that he could bless him before his death. Rebekah overheard this conversation and devised a plan to trick Isaac and secure the blessing for Jacob instead. She instructed Jacob to disguise himself as Esau by wearing Esau's clothes and covering his hands and neck with goatskins to mimic Esau's hairy appearance. Jacob followed his mother's instructions and presented himself to Isaac, who was deceived into believing that he was blessing Esau. Rebekah prepared a meal for Jacob, and he dressed up in Esau's clothes to deceive Isaac, who was blind and could not see well. Genesis chapter 27 verses 1-40. Jacob approached his father with the meal, and Isaac questioned why he had come so quickly. Jacob responded by saying that God had granted him success. Isaac then became suspicious, and Jacob touched him, but Jacob confirmed his false identity. Isaac also smelled the clothes of Esau that Jacob was wearing and believed him to be Esau. Isaac proceeded to bless Jacob, saying, "May God give you heaven's dew and earth's richness, an abundance of grain and new wine. May nations serve you and people bow down to you. Rule over your siblings, and may your mother's sons submit to you. May the blessings come to you who bless you, and the curses come to those who curse you." Jacob was blessed, and then Esau showed up with his father's dinner and asked for more blessings. After realizing that Jacob had tricked him, Isaac informed Esau that he had already blessed Jacob. Esau begged his father for a blessing, and Isaac cursed him with the promise of living by the sword and serving his brother. When Esau found out about the deception, he was furious and vowed to revenge. Due to Esau's anger towards him, Jacob was sent to his mother's family in Haran. On his journey, Jacob had a dream of a ladder reaching heaven, where God confirmed his covenant with him and promised to bless him. Jacob worked for his uncle Laban for 7 years to marry Rachel, but he was deceived by Laban and ended up marrying Leah first. He then worked another 7 years for Rachel. 1 daughter and 12 sons were born to Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob's wealth and livestock increased significantly during his time with Laban. Jacob decided to return to his homeland, Canaan. On his way back, Jacob had a wrestling match with God and received a new name, Israel, which means, he struggles with God. After Jacob fled to Haran, Esau settled in the region called Seir, which is located in modern-day Jordan. This area became known as the land of Edom, and Esau's descendants, the Edomites, formed a nation there. It is located in present-day southern Jordan and southwestern Saudi Arabia. The descendants of Esau include the historical founders of Russia, China, and Japan. Throughout history, the Edomites were primarily known for their conflict with the Israelites. The Edomite kingdom was conquered by the Babylonians and later incorporated into various empires, such as the Persian, Greek, and Roman. Towards the end of their story, Esau and Jacob are able to reconcile and forgive each other. The question arises, why were their descendants hostile towards each other even though their ancestors reconciled? The Edomites assisted the Babylonians in plundering the first temple. Psalm chapter 137 verse 7 and Obadiah chapter 1 verses 11-14. When Joseph's envious brothers sold him into slavery in Egypt and staged his death, Jacob's narrative took a drastically different path. Once his cherished child passed away, Jacob was distraught and grieved for a long time. When he ascended to prominence in Egypt, Joseph was reunited with his family, which included his father, Jacob. Lessons learned from the lives of Esau and Jacob. The story of Esau and Jacob highlights the complex dynamics within a family. Favoritism can fuel sibling rivalry. Their rivalry and deception caused tension and strained relationships within their family. Despite their flawed actions, God still had a plan for both Esau and Jacob. Despite his flaws and mistakes, Jacob is remembered as one of the patriarchs of the Israelite people, and his story continues to be a source of inspiration and reflection. Esau despised his birthright and lost the blessings that were rightfully his. Jacob, on the other hand, coveted the blessing and went to great lengths to obtain it. This teaches us to appreciate and value the blessings that come our way and not take them for granted. No matter how broken or strained a relationship may be, there is always an opportunity for reconciliation and forgiveness. Jacob's life is a mixture of triumphs and struggles. The story of Esau serves as a cautionary tale to be mindful of the consequences of impulsive and short-sighted decisions, as they can have lasting effects.